Hey everyone, my name is Mark. I'm a junior partner at a multi-billion-dollar corporation, trying to do my part to pass knowledge on to the next generation. I grew up during the golden age of COD, where as a lost kid, I was able to get much needed life advice from the generation before me through watching videos just like this. My goal is to help the young me watching and anyone else needing a chill place to meet and discuss topics that can provide value in your life. If that interests you, stick around and drop a comment below. Today, we'll be discussing Beginner Finance 101. Now, I'm still learning how to control my finances, and just know it only gets more complex as you grow up. But here are 13 tips to help you figure out your finances no matter your income. Tip number 1, create a budget. Learn what's going in and what's going out. Ensure you're spending less than you make, then save or invest the difference. During this phase, you want to see what expenses are fluff and what you can do to eliminate that spending. Here are some common traps we all fall into. Look into what you spend in the following areas: gas station snack purchases, tobacco products, recreational drugs, alcohol, mobile app purchases, gambling, energy drinks, Amazon purchases, eating out. Then, you have big line items such as car payments, rent, groceries. Are any of these line items inflated? Do you really need to spend $300 a month on energy drinks, $300 a month on tobacco products, and then $150 a month on Farmville? Number 2, housing. Housing should be less than 30% of your gross pay. My advice is don't rent an expensive place just to impress women. You can have a modest home, decorated well, that's accommodating to guests. While you're young, most people in your social circle don't have much of anything anyways. These are the days to take advantage of grinding and stacking up dollars. There are apartments out there that have all utilities wrapped into the rent. When choosing your housing, remember these additional costs you'll run into. Application fees, around $50 to $150 just to apply for the home. And remember, not having a credit score is equally as negative as having a bad score. You may need to pay a refundable deposit to the landlord, which will act as insurance against any damages you may cause. These funds will be given back to you once you move out, or partially returned based off any damages you may cause to the home. Depending on your credit score, you may need to pay a non-refundable deposit. This is upfront collateral the landlord may seek based on the risk of even renting to you. Now, when turning on your utilities, you may need to pay a deposit yet again. This will be returned when you turn off your utilities and have shown no missed payments. The breakdown for all of this is startup costs may look like 1 month's rent as a refundable deposit, $200 deposit for electricity, $200 deposit for gas, $100 deposit for water, $100 deposit for sewage and waste, maybe even $100 deposit for Wi-Fi. Assuming $1,000 for your rent, your startup costs would look like having $1,700 cash just to be locked in as upfront costs. Number 3, start working on saving 3 to 6 months of your monthly expenses. When you're young, it's easy and common to feel indestructible. When you finally get a big boy job, it's easy to think that the money will always be there and come in each month. The wisdom of experience shows you how far from the truth that is. We aren't indestructible and are best off planning to combat our destruction. Even if you feel or think that you have people in your corner that will save you if times ever got dark, understand that you're an adult now, and it's nobody's responsibility to save you except yours. This only intensifies as a young man takes on a wife or has children. You only add to the list of those seeking out your provision. So wisdom will tell you to plan against future hardships and ensure you have the cash needed to float you and your family through those times. It's not meant to be more than a lifeline. This is the difference between savings and investing. Investing is to assist in growing your assets for a brighter tomorrow. Savings is to ensure you can make it to tomorrow, no matter what happens today. Life hits you fast sometimes, and the last thing you need when your car's engine blew a gasket Friday night is having to wait until Monday to sell some stocks and then wait 5 business days for the bank transfer to clear just for you to be able to afford the repair. Or when you lose your job and need to create a taxable event selling off your portfolio while down 10% to gather liquidity needed just to float yourself. Number 4, See if your job has a 401k match. At a minimum, set your 401k contributions to whatever gets you the 100% match. Think of it like this. You make $40,000 and invest 4% to get a 4% match. By the end of the year, you'll have invested $1,600, but will have $3,200 invested into the account. There are many ways to invest into something moderate, such as the S&P 500, even within a 401k. Let's take an average rate of return of 7%. By the end of the year, you personally would have invested $1,600. However, your total account balance could be $3,304. Over 3 years, you only invested $4,800 and could have a return total balance of $10,287. This continues to compound and compound over time. The best part about doing this early is the amount invested each month isn't as important as the amount of time you're giving yourself to invest. Studies show that every dollar invested at 20 will be turned into around $99 at 60, compared to every dollar invested at 30, which turns into around $40. Number 5, you're going to want to start aggressively paying off debt. I personally like to be debt-free. Others will argue investing money into the stock market and making higher returns than the interest drawn out makes more sense. Meaning, if I only have $2,000 a month to use for investing or to pay off debt, some people would rather use that $2,000 each month to invest and make 7% rather than spend it on paying additional payments towards their debt that are at 3%. Those same people typically agree that once debt interest rates get to around 5%, that's where many would rather pay any additional dollars available towards clearing that debt. For instance, I paid an additional $2,500 towards our car debt and then just invest the rest. Number 6, open a Roth IRA and max it out annually. Invest into something moderate like the S&P 500. A Roth IRA should be your best friend, especially once your debts are paid off. With this account, you're able to pay taxes on money that's invested today. Then choose exactly what stocks your money goes into. Any growth your money makes along the way is not taxed. Then, when you're 59 and a half years old, you're able to start removing money from the account again, tax-free. This is an awesome way to start building wealth. There's so many brokerage sites that will let you start an account for free. Then make trades, aka buy stocks for free. Then, one of the best new additions to the investing world is fractional trading. What that means is back in the day, if you wanted to invest into something awesome that cost $300 a share, you're only able to buy full shares at $300 each. However, now, if you only have $100 to invest, you're still able to buy 1/3 of that share. This helps make investing more accessible to us all. Number 7, don't immediately upgrade your lifestyle when you start making more money. Here's one of the hardest things to not do. I urge everyone to fight the temptation as best as possible. I always thought I didn't care what people think of me, and now look at me. I used to easily be able to drive a Toyota Corolla, fully paid off, purchased under market price, and was averaging 35 miles per gallon. I've had 2 promotions in 2 years. I made the mistake of jumping my lifestyle about 3 times, and all of a sudden, I have an expensive car payment, and though I make nearly double what I made 2 years ago, I'm now saving and investing almost half of what I used to. That only happens because of a lifestyle increase. Unless you're truly facing collapse and need to make drastic changes, most people are not going to be reducing their lifestyle or going backwards if they don't need to. I would advise you just not raise your lifestyle because it accustoms you to that new level of spend. I'm not saying you can't make simple changes, go out more often, do a bigger trip. However, the changes should only occur if you first match your savings and investings to the increase. Then, secondly, the changes should fit your income increase. Earning $10,000 more a year doesn't mean that you now need to take 2 additional vacations, buy a $40,000 car, and never go to Chili's again. Number 8, get a secured credit card. Get one such as the Discover It card. Use the card and fill up gas just once a month. Then immediately pay the charge. Doing this will allow you to only have access to a small portion of credit while you learn to utilize credit cards. It will allow you to get positive payment history, have a low utilization ratio, and start giving you credit history. For those that have no credit, this simple task will allow you to increase your score to 700 plus within months. Number 9, every 6 months, shop around and see if you can lower your car insurance. Since you have an emergency fund, you're able to take advantage of the savings that car insurance companies offer for you accepting a larger deductible. What this means is car insurance companies will give you the help you need only after you pay a fee that you agree to pay. That fee is the deductible. When you have a higher deductible, your monthly payment is typically much cheaper. This is a good thing since you'll most likely rarely use your insurance and need to ever pay the deductible. And if you ever do, you can just simply pull that charge out of your emergency fund. Number 10, every few months, do a check and see if there's any subscriptions that you don't need and can cancel. Number 11, get a small life insurance policy. Your job probably has a free, minimal life insurance policy that you're able to choose from. Something you may have to opt into, but can get at no charge, at least to cover a casket and service if you died today. This way, you're not stacking issues on the people you care about most, especially on the worst days. Getting a $200,000 plus policy may cost $2 through your job. Getting these policies helps cover things in the worst events and helps everyone involved. Number 12, get a will established once you have a wife and family. You and your wife need to both have an understanding of how things would go if the worst were ever to happen. Ensure things are properly set up for those worst case events. Many young men never consider any of this, but as I always say, life hits fast. You may be 22 right now. You may find a wife at 24 and have kids at 27. You'll want to start understanding these things and see how you'd like them optimally set up for your situation. Number 13, use YouTube to invest into your knowledge base. YouTube has given me access to professionals in dozens of fields that have enlightened me to many things. I'd advise everyone to use YouTube to better their skills and expand the subjects that they're at least having a beginner knowledge basis on. In my opinion, you should understand the basics of taxes, self-defense, CPR, personal finance, credit score system, emerging industries, business, sales, personal fitness, diet, how to shoot guns, how to slow down anxiety and control your mind, and a million more. It takes time to become your best self. However, we're all able to control our choices and limit our hardships. You've already started investing into yourself by clicking this video. Subscribe to be notified of more content that may assist you as you become your best self. And comment any video ideas or tips you think can help those starting out financially. That's all I got for this one. See you in the next video.